Everyone says you need a dash cam, but nobody talks about how annoying it is to get the footage off your dash cam, fumbling with this really annoying micro SD card that's really hard to pull out and then put back in. That's where this dash cam differs. Today we're looking at the Kyltoor 4K front and 1080p back dash cam. The brand's motto is drive with proof, but we need to find out if it actually holds up to that statement. Today I'm going to answer a lot of questions that most reviewers skip, especially about the 4K sensor and the parking mode catch that most brands don't advertise. Okay, so first things first, easy install. You just plug the power into your cigarette lighter, you screw this piece on, and you screw this piece on over here, and then you are ready to mount it to your window so it can sit right here like this, or pick whatever spot you want. I mean, this, you can see it doesn't really interrupt my driving. If I'm looking at the mirror, I can actually barely see this thing here, but we can put it wherever we want. Now I like to check to make sure that it actually works before I wire all this stuff around my car. So let's see. Okay, so definitely works. The way I usually wire this is this goes over here. There's usually a spot you can hook it in. And then you want to run it along. Let's just turn the car off for a sec. Then you want to run it along the lining over here for the front part anyway, because this is a front and back, right? So run it in through here, up through here, and then you just plug it into power where you have it installed. So let's do that real quick. Okay, so just to show you what I'm doing here, there's a technique to this. Some people like to use like a flathead screwdriver, but I just get my fingers in there and pull it all the way through like this. And that's essentially what you're gonna do for the front and the back. Sorry, I needed both hands to tuck that in here. And then you just kind of keep going until you get to where you're gonna install it. Zip tie it together so you don't have a bunch of length. And then I'll show you what it looks like in a second here. Okay, so now that I've taken the sticky off and mounted it where I want it, we now have the front part done. We can adjust it to make sure that we get everything that we want in the field of view. And now we're going to install the back. I'm not going to bore you through all of this, but because we already have cable on the left side, we're going to go through on the right side all the way around. And I'll show you what I do when I get to the trunk, because I have a hatchback, and we'll go from there. Okay, so now I've ran everything through from back there all the way around here. Tucked it in here. Helps to have something flat if it's being mean to you. Just all the way around here. And then we got a lot of extra slack, so just kind of zip tied that together. And now we're able to power the rear camera, which isn't quite installed yet. So you can just see a can there in the back, and we're gonna fix that. I like to mount them over here. So this is my other dash cam. Because I have a hatchback, I like to actually put it on just the hatch window. So there is this guy over here, double-sided sticky. I already put one side on. So we're just gonna mount that to the window and see what it looks like. Okay, so now it's mounted. I also wanted to show you guys that I pulled the slack that way so that when I open my hatch, there's not a lot of wire. So now we have it mounted to the glass, and we're gonna see what it looks like. Hey, look at that, I can see my garage door now. Here's the question that I see often asked online. Does the 24-hour parking mode work out of the box? What is the parking mode? You can set it so if someone jars or hits your car in any way, like say you take a baseball bat to your windshield or whatever, it will jar the camera and it will turn on and start recording both the front and the back. Here's the thing though, if you don't actually connect it directly into your fuse box to power it that way, the battery life is very limited on these cameras. Like this isn't a knock on this brand. Any dash cam that you buy, in order to be able to keep the cameras as small and inconspicuous as possible, the batteries are pretty small. You only get a few minutes out of it, so it's not going to be enough to catch 24 hours of footage, say someone was really going at your car for some reason. So if you live in Detroit, you probably want to make sure that you plug it into your fuse box. Did I just say that? Let's just leave it in. Now, the nice thing for anyone that lives in a super cold climate or even a hot climate is this comes with a super capacitor, not a cheap lithium battery, which means it won't melt your dash in the summer when it's plus 35, and it won't instantly die when it's minus 30 in February. Now let's look at the footage. Is this true 4K on the front or just upscaled? Now I purposely exported this video in 4K, which means my 1080p video is also upscaled. Sorry about that. So you can answer that question yourself watching this footage, right? What I really like is the crisp colors this camera offers, especially for the front-facing cameras, but the clarity just isn't there for license plates, even when you're up close, until you're basically at a stop. Reading license plates while in motion for cameras in this price range is notoriously difficult because of the motion blur caused by a low shutter speed and nighttime headlight glare, which blows out the reflective plate. Until recently, most 4K dash cams just gave you prettier scenery, not better evidence. If you're looking for a dash cam that can catch a runaway license plate, you're looking for a dash cam less in this $100 price range that we're looking at right now, and more in the $400+ price range. So when looking to purchase a dash cam, you'll definitely want to consider if reading license plates in motion is worth the extra few $100s. And from what I've seen on reviews of those higher end dash cams, there are certain situations like gravel roads, single lane roads, that even those cameras won't be able to master. And even on regular roads, the footage isn't as clear as you may think. It's definitely not the same as what you see with this camera when it's stopped. So it's still kind of difficult to make out, although good enough for evidence. Now, if you're getting awful dashboard glare in sunlight, the front lens housing does allow you to attach a standard circular polarizer filter, which I highly recommend picking up. At the end of the day, you get a great quality video and you'll catch license plates when you're at or close to being at a stop. It does come with a 32 gig card, so that's great. You don't have to buy another one. But with 4K and 1080p recording simultaneously, that's only really gonna last you a couple hours. Now, fortunately, you do have this loop feature where it will just automatically record over the oldest footage. And it's really quite seamless. Like when it switches between your last minute and your next minute, you don't really see like a 1 second gap between the files or anything like that. The camera also handles overwriting older files really well, and you don't get that annoying pop-up that you get with some cameras where it tells you that you need to format your card so that you can continue recording. And yes, I have had that. Well, what about night vision? At night, license plates can get washed out if your headlights hit them directly. This is a common issue for pretty much all dash cams. In this case though, I find the sensor does an admirable job balancing the exposure, although you do get a bit of haloing when it comes to lights. More importantly, what is this like to live with every day? You can set the screen to timeout completely black so it doesn't blind you at night. You can turn off that startup chime if that's something that really annoys you. And then one thing I highly recommend is definitely turn down the G-Shock sensor, because I think the default is high, and I kid you not, every little bump that you go over, the tiniest pothole that you hit, it'll literally lock that footage as an emergency and fill up your card quite quickly with your morning commute emergency footage. And not to mention that it actually flashes like this really annoying, thankfully it's in white and not like piercing red or something like that, but it will flash to say that an accident was detected, so this clip is being locked, which just means that it cannot be recorded over. And that's why I'm saying if you get enough of those clips, you'll fill up quite quickly and not be able to record any more footage. Now let's talk about the back camera. You can see during daytime footage, it's clear enough to see what's going on behind you, and you can match that up with the front footage if you like to see what's going on in the front and back at the time of recording. I did find though, the software does a really good job at separating your front footage and your back footage into folders, but when it comes to the naming convention, like if you're looking to match up two clips, like your front clip and your back clip, and you want to watch them at the same time or edit them into the same like clip, you're gonna have to manually open up a lot of files until you get the correct one, because it's the file names just don't make sense for that. So I mean, I guess you could look at the modified time on the files, and that would be the easiest way to kind of match that up. Just something that I found a little bit not as user-friendly. Now I want to go through and show you guys some of the menu options here. If you go in here into settings, I'm not going to go through what each thing does, but I'm just going to show you what all the different options are here, and I'll actually just put in the description for you what it is that they do. Now, one thing that I will mention is that the thing that you're going to probably use the most is deciding whether or not you want it to record audio. And I'll show you guys a sample of what the audio looks like too. But you're also going to want to make sure that you, like, if the nice thing is that if you go into this Wi-Fi option, you can actually download everything that's on your camera or whatever you want to download right from the app as well. So all you do is you turn on the Wi-Fi app here, and then now you can scan this QR code to get the app, I believe. And then this is the SSID that you look for and the password that you type in. Okay, so then you just go into the settings of your phone, connections, Wi-Fi, and you connect to that Wi-Fi. I'm already connected because I previously connected. But then we can go into the app, and sorry, this is what it's called here, the Viidure. And then now we can go to camera file, and you can just select which videos you want to download. So you've got F for front, B for back, and you can just download as many as you want. And so we're just going to download a few here because I do need to show you guys some clips. And then you just click down here in the left where it says download. And I would suggest actually putting your phone close to where the dash cam is, because it'll actually download it quite a bit quicker the closer that you are to it. And look at that, it's actually pretty close. I believe these clips are all about 32 megs, 40 megs. It looks like some of them are 90. And yeah, it's downloading them quite quickly for the size that the file is, and that we're downloading over a webcam's Wi-Fi. Yeah, 8885. And can I get just chicken sandwich? Yeah. Can I get extra big chicken sauce? Yeah. Oh, can I also just get a cup of water too? Now, if you want to see GPS speed and map location data, you'll have to use their app on your desktop, because standard MP4 players on your PC just aren't going to show that data. Now, if you're looking to purchase today, I'll pop up a QR code here for you guys, and I'll put a link in the description as well. Now, make sure if you're scanning, make sure you're scanning the QR code and not my face, because that will take you to a place that you can't unsee. I'm kidding. It's not. Just don't scan my face, okay? So is this dash cam drive with proof? Well, I'll leave that up to you guys. I think at this price point, it definitely punches above its weight. It is advertised as something that will allow you to read license plates, and most dash cams will advertise like that, even if it's only when at a stop. So guys, this is completely normal at this price point, and I just want you guys to keep that in mind. Next up, you should check out one of the 2 videos on your screen. It's going to change your life. Thanks for liking and subscribing, and I'll see you next time.